Alright, welcome back to Tour de Nortel. I don't know what episode number this is going to be. It's kind of late. It's about 11:20 at night where I'm at. But we're mostly pondering what we're going to do next with the Switch. Because it's been a little bit. I've kind of hit a rut on what I want to do since I've got all the phones up and running and just been having trouble with the damn call pilot. Um, I was thinking of doing maybe a tour of the um, Switch stack itself, like pull out the cards, show off like what each card does. You have to remember some of these cards are very old, so I've run into a problem where sometimes booting the Switch, like from power off to power on, the CPPM doesn't come back cleanly, requiring me to reboot the entire stack again to get the CPPM to come back. So I think I've got a failing hard drive. So what I'm gonna need to do is get an image of that hard disk as soon as I can and put it on an SSD or some kind of SSD-like adapter for the IDE bus on the CPPM. I should be able to get a camera going. Let me see. Okay. Let's see here. Where's webcam? Webcam. Okay, so we want the life cam. Hello? There we go. Where's the life cam? Is it not plugged in? Okay, so we've got that camera there for being, oh, this camera. That's on top of my EFJ for my desk. And then this camera apparently isn't plugged in. Let's fix that. Eh. Do we have a slot? Yes, we do. I mean, I've got a hub, but let's add the webcam. Video capture, add source, new source, add source, live cam. There we go. So we'll put that there. Is there any? Is that really it? That's kind of shitty. So let's open that up. Let's go custom. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Let's bring that down here. Let's have that pointed there. And have this pointed at me. So there's the Nortel. Oh, let's not do that. Let's do... Yeah, let's do that. So Nortel top. Oh god, no. Anyway. Let me get the laptop. Okay, let's put this, let's put that there. Yeah, we're gonna redesign this. So we're gonna put that up there, that there, that there. Uh, do that.
Or I like putting this like here. Yeah. Okay. So it's got me twice because, sitting at the desk versus the switch over there. Um, I'm peeking, so I need to be careful. Anyway, um, so what we're gonna go through and do is probably mess with that, what is it called? Page Pro IP. Um, Here in the next couple days. What that'll do is it'll allow me to uh, use SIP to kind of interface a radio output to a SIP line to the cube, and it does it to the cube, and it goes from there. Oh, I've got a CPPM right here. Oh, shucks. Okay. So, this is a CPPM right here. As you can see, this one only has a little bit of memory. Um, this one was built. Let's see. Where's the date on it? Each one of these things should have a date somewhere on it for the warranty start. Oh, this has a waiver on it. That's wonderful. That means that there's something wrong with it, or was wrong with it. Anyway, these little fucking things right here are the bane of most Nortel PBX. Whoa, what the? PBX operators' bane is right here. These little fucking things. That. Which, if you want to see there, this is a I button. It along with the key code is what determines what you can do on the switch, how many phones you can have, stuff like that. I got a Nortel TCH, which is a technician I button, which has a lot of fun. They were used for Nortel technicians to go in and basically troubleshoot with or develop with, and they had very crazy amounts of things available, like 65 535 phones on one of these things on a option 11. If I can connect 65 535 analog sets somehow to this fucking thing, I'd be surprised. But, that's one of those things that I want to do. I don't even think I don't have that numbering space, do I? No, I don't. I've only got a 10,000 line numbering space. Technically 999. No? So I've got 755, but I've got the entire 75 block. So I could do 751, 752. So I could do 99,000 phone lines, phone numbers, or DNs. So that would be fun to make like some kind of like little emulator that uses a trunk card to put incoming trunks coming into the universal trunk card, and then have the lines there. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna open up a notepad real quick. Oh, there's the there's the, what's it called? Um, List of parts. What I want to do is make a list of what I want to do next with the Nortel because we have run out of things to do with the Nortel. So, connect Vesta 911 to the penis extension system. And for those none aware, the penis extension system is our private phone network that we play around with. Join CTRS for more info. Discord.com/CTRS. Or discord.gg/CTRS, if I remember right. That's the right one. We get to play around with a lot of fun stuff due to people's connections and some really cool companies that let us do this for nothing. They let us play around with this stuff just so that as long as we're not making a profit off of it, they don't care. So we get to play around with Astro P25 radio networks. That's another thing, is connect phones to Astro is another thing I want to do, is connect these phones into the Astro network so that I can use Astro calling, because P25 allows you to do telephone calls. So back in the day, before cell phones really were ubiquitous and they were like super expensive back in the amps days, we're talking like we're talking more deamps and less amps. Well, no, actually, we're talking more amps. Back in the like early Type 2 days. Well, maybe not the early Type 2 days, but like analog like SmartNet and Type 2 before P25 became a thing. So like maybe P16 or Type 2. They had the ability to do telephone calls, or you'd have auto patch that would just, you'd be on a talk group and you would patch the phone call in, or a dispatcher would patch the phone call in for you from their Zetron console or their Gold Elite console, depending on which manufacturer you went with. These things, since what comes out of the Nortel switch is just a single one pair of wires. You can wire them into pretty much anything. Like, I'm thinking of wiring that paging system in to a DCC-GW, which is a digital conventional channel gateway for Motorola, and wire that into my repeater, which is the repeater is the thing that has the red light at the bottom. That's my wireline card is red because I have it turned off currently, but that thing wired into a DIU, wired into the Page Pro IP, should get me what I want, which is basically, if I dial a certain extension, pick it up, it'll actually broadcast something over the radio. It's a one-way thing. I want to get two-way calling work, like duplexing. I mean, like, it's going to be half duplex because it's a fucking radio. But I want to get at least half duplex calling working where it's two-way calling. Where, the person on one end talks, it detects that, puts it through, and then, I key up and get a talk permit on a phone line call and go from there. So, looks like we've got the fans starting to power up. It's getting a little warm in here. Keep the server room around 70 8 degrees because, unfortunately, power is expensive and that goddamn meridian draws a good amount of power. And so does the repeater, especially the repeater. The repeater is pretty much a microwave oven when it's keyed up. So, like, if I come over here and key up E.F. Johnson, uh, it shoots the power up quite a bit. I mean, it's 110 watts. What do you expect? Um, so, connect paging box to radio. Um, I need to figure out Nortel SIP. So what I'm gonna do is let's do this real quick. Yoink. There we go. We're gonna try to figure out Nortel SIP so that, why is this thing so fucking grainy? Like, oh god. There we go. That looks a lot better because my shirt was blue, not gray. Anyway, um, we want to get the things working and stuff. So, I've got I want to get the Nortel SIP working so that I can provision people lines. So that if people want to, for some reason, play around with this shit, I can be like, here, there's a SIP line. And if you abuse it, I'm going to cut it off. So expect that sometime soon. Um, the second T1 line is what another thing I want to do. I need to figure out why the clock is red on my second T1 T1 card. It's probably just a hey, you got to set up the clock to track from late clock to track in thing in the I'm not doing good. I need to sleep. What time is it? Oh, yes. Anyway, we're gonna go to a BRB real quick, and I need to wake the fuck up, which means splash myself with water. Be right back.